So I ran into an issue with my T56 when I was trying to get the cover back on. I have some footage here I'm going to show on what I figured out and how I got the cover to go back, but basically this post that I'm pointing to here would not line up with the indentation in the cover. The video I took of all this was at 3 in the morning when I had finally figured out how to get this all back together, so I apologize the video isn't the greatest and it's a little bit all over the place, but I did learn what I needed to do and what worked for me. These are synchro springs and keys, and these came out of the first gear synchro when I was trying to get the gears unfrozen when they had come under a bind of some sort with the gears moving around. The input shaft was out of the car, and when I was putting it all back together it wouldn't line up, and so the following video is going to show you what I did. Again, I'm sorry this was really late at night, it's not my best work, but at least you can see what I'm talking about here, and hopefully this helps somebody, because I had to do a lot of research real quick to figure out what this was and how to get it to work, and I did get it back together. Alright, so this turned into a really big mess tonight. T56, I had it all put back together, ready to go. You'll see the video if you like, but anyway, what happened was I had the cover ready to go back on. I had silicone on both sides, had it perfectly clean, and this, see that post right there on the top? It's supposed to go in that groove, and this you're supposed to be able to move up, see, just like that. It'll go up in the post, but it was in a bind in there somewhere, and the gears wouldn't move right, and every time I tried to put the cover on, it's supposed to go in that hole. It was down here somewhere or up here, I think it was above. Too much. This would not go in there. And when you try to, you're supposed to be able to lift it up a little bit, move it to get it in there, but that was in a bind, and that post was not in there. So I read on SVT Performance, and some guy said put it in second gear, put it on the whole transmission on their side, rocked it around, and I finally, this was pretty solid, it wasn't going anywhere, and I finally, after moving the gears around and stuff, I got it to come loose, and it went up into place. Now, first gear synchro though, when you're switching all the gears around, it kicked out all these little pieces. I forgot, I read about them, I'm trying to remember what they're called, but anyway, you have a retainer spring, and see how one end has the lip on it and the other doesn't. From what I saw on rebuild kits, that's the way the T56 is supposed to be. So I was scared that I broke the end off of it or something, but these little keys, they have a notch on each end, and there's one of these on the inside behind the gear too, and so you have to hook this first side on the notch like this. I have it in a certain gear where that ring, or it's actually a spring, is actually where it should be to be able to get these in and out loosely. As far as I know, that's what they are. So there, you hook the back side of it. Not sure how good this will be, but I'm trying anyway. So get the hook on the bottom there to go around one of the springs. There. Let's see if I can get a good look at this. So it's in there, and it should be, the back of it's around the other ring, and then you just take this ring from the front side and you put it on the inside of all those, and I believe the little hook is supposed to go in here and hold in place. But anyway, we'll try this out again. But if you're shifting the gears around, it'll pop out. So you gotta be careful. It's shot out at me a couple times, and I had to go find the pieces. Alright, so I believe that's how they're supposed to go in there. There's one. The hook is just barely on the side of it here. It's not in the middle. It was pinching the middle of that thing. See, it's on the end there, and then this one goes under and under. And if you look at it from the side, you can kind of see how the hook end is there. Like, see, it's the flat end is curving around the spring and holding it. It's the same on the back side of it. There's another one. So then you have the synchronizer, or the synchro. Alright, so then you have the synchro. I just put it back in. See how it's keyed. It has 3 slots, and those go in where those little things are. There we go. So that needs to be flush when you put it in. So now everything turns nicely. I can move this up and down where it needs to go so I can put the cover on. And then I'll put the input shaft back on too. I hope this helps somebody. If you know a lot about transmissions, go ahead and put it in the comments. Tell me any information that you want on this, or any advice for anybody else. This is how I got it back together. From what I read and understood, that's how it goes, without having to tear the whole transmission apart. From shifting the gears, trying to get it loose is what made those keys shoot out and come out and everything. So when I did this before in my Orange Cobra, I never had this problem. The cover went right back on, so I never fiddled with it like that. So you could tell in the video I was really tired. I was at my wit's end, and it was not a good night. But anyway, hopefully somebody can learn from this, and if you know more about it, or if you think that was wrong, go ahead and put that in the comments. I'm not an expert on transmissions, and that's for sure. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.